Okay, I think I might, this might be a distraction. Well, let's see how, let's see what happens over there. So Leo's he's not usually up there, but we'll see how that goes. So let's get started with a warm up. Let's go narrow squat and go into that hip circle. So hopefully you are feeling good today. And again, it's Wednesday, so I know some of you need to leave early. So I like to do a lot of upper body and lower body sequences throughout the class. So if you have to sign off halfway through, at least you've hit some upper body and lower body throughout. So let's go another one each side. Shoulders back and just warming up the legs. Here, let's go into the hamstring scoops and let's go up and then open. Excellent. So again, we're just getting started. So if you are feeling stiff today, just be mindful of how you are moving. Maybe pay a little more attention to an area. Let's go one more here. Excellent. Okay. And we've done these side lunges lots of times. Every now and then I like to do those bigger ones. So if you can, you're going to go into that deeper reach. So as you step, take your time. I want you to get a little bit of a deeper stretch here and a bit of rotation. So as you take your hands wide and then reach to the inside of that foot, and if it's not that low, maybe just to the inside of your knee. It's a nice good stretch. Okay, let's go another couple here. Feeling that muscles, those joints loosen up. Let's go another last one here. And excellent. Okay, so let's go into that squat with that open. And I already did these a little bit earlier today. Feels really good to do this movement. And these type of movements you can do multiple times throughout the day. If you're finding that you're maybe even reading a lot or working from home. One more each side. Good, one more here. Okay, and then the back lunge, when we sit back or step back, sink into it, open the same side as your front leg. Try to keep your hips stable. So up and here. Good. So all those movements are excellent to do multiple directions. Big reach. Good. Last one here. Excellent. So on the other day we did that walkout with that bigger hip flexor stretch. So I'm just going to show you always. So the option, you can step and then you're going to open. It's very similar to the other one. You're going to open up the same side as your front leg and then step back. You can do a calf stretch here. And then here's the option if you're doing the walkout, if it's not too much for you. This is something that can be done in a few different steps. If it's too much to bring that foot here, you can easily walk it up if you feel comfortable. Sometimes you might have to kind of bring your foot. Okay, if that's too intense, then do that using the chair. I'm going to go another one more each side. So another thing that I'd like you to do today in this warm up, so up in here, I'm going to do one more, and I'm going to stay on the floor for this next one. I'm going to do this, step open, and if you're comfortable, come down to the floor. I'm going to get you to warm up the upper body. So let's do one push-up, one child's pose. So I'm on my knees here. So if you want to use the end of the sofa or a countertop, you can do that. I'm going to go one push, and then I'm going to go into child's pose. A little bit more shoulder mobility. So I'm going to do one push and then one lean back. And push and lean back. So we're preparing the muscles. And we're also getting that shoulder mobility. That doesn't feel right for you. Again, countertop or something like another shoulder mobility exercise. Let's go one more time here. And now, okay, up onto your feet. do some shoulder circles, and then we'll end this warm up with a bit of bigger movements, get the heart rate elevated. So those arm circles, you can always keep the elbows bent. Let's go. All right, another nice day out there. Planted some flowers the other day. Let's go here. Shake it out. Go into a jog or a march. Planted some flowers, and it's going to look nice out there. And let's go. I remember last year when we were still doing these classes. It's like my first year of really, you know, taking pride in my garden, tomatoes and cucumbers. So anyways, hopefully we'll get that again this year. Let's go into jump jacks or the low jacks. Again, we're just warming up the body, so do what you feel that you like to do here. And good. All right, let's go into 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I want you to do this movement where you do one bottom half, step, one bottom half. If you feel okay, do that little hop, up and over, up and over. Nice dynamic movement. Still warm up the legs, but as we do that, the heart rate is elevated just a little bit more. Yes, reminds me to track this. 4, 3, 2, and 1, and keep your feet moving and spend some time. Maybe you need to do a little quadricep stretch, maybe some high knees, shake out your arms, whatever you feel you need. And now grab some water. We're going to get right into our strength and go from there. All right, so in this class today, we will throw in the core throughout. So I'm not saving it to the very end. So each block of work is going to be pretty short. We're going to do one upper body, one lower body, bit of conditioning, and core. So, but the core will be at the end of each block. It's not, I want to keep me moving and not interrupt that. All right, so upper body, lower body. Let's start off with the shoulder press. And this is a static press here. So I want you to just find a weight that you're comfortable with. And if you need to modify this, please do. If you have a shoulder injury, maybe this is not the right movement for you. So like for example, if you have been to physio, you need to do some band pull aparts or something like that instead. That would be totally fine too. Now, this is a nice solid upper body movement. Shoulder press, you can do palms facing out, palms facing in. Keep your core tight. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then static squat. So I want you to choose where you're going to put your feet, hold the weight, and let's just do regular squats. If you need to, maybe you're sitting, standing, you know, like sitting in a chair and then standing up, or you're freestanding here. And I want you to focus on that range of motion. And if you can activate your glutes. So what happens sometimes, it's all front of the thighs. So how can we engage those glutes? Maybe it's allowing us to get a little bit lower. Maybe your feet are a little wider. And pushing the knees out. Keep pushing the knees out. We're going to do dynamic conditioning. And then we will come back to the shoulder press. So short blocks of work. Let's go 3, 2, let's go 1 more. Remember, your pace is your choice. And release. Okay, nice dynamic movement. So if you want, you can do that like we did in the warm-up. One bottom half together, one bottom half. If you can, it's one little jump, one bottom half and jump. Let's get started. Whoa. Short little burst here. Keep things moving. And Again, you don't have to do a jump. You know, maybe it's a step if you want. If you feel warmed up and you want a little more power, you're looking for some more height. And it's a short block here, and then we're back to the shoulder press. 5 seconds only. 3, 2, 1, and release. Okay, so as your legs recover a little bit, grab your weights again. Static shoulder press. Grab a sip of water if you need. Second round. Shoulder presses. Same as before. Maybe you're walking around a little bit. You're cooling down just enough. And this one, and then the squats. Those dynamic side squats and core. So let's keep going here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hopefully you feel that on the second round. Squats, and again, you're choosing your width and the depth. Let's go. Focus on leg strength. Sitting, standing, if you have any knee problems, hip, even back, you know, you just want to make sure that you're choosing the range of motion that feels okay. Body weight only, or adding the weight. Sitting, standing. So I want you to feel those glutes. So pushing out. Squeeze your glutes. Okay, let's go another 4. And then the up and overs or those side squats. 2 more here. Put your weights down. So a little short. It was 30 seconds last time, so we'll do 30 seconds again. Remember, you can modify if you need. Let's go. 1 bottom half, up and over. Step. Give you a little hop. Just watch your footing. You don't have to jump. I just like you to move after that static strength. And after this, we're going to do a core exercise. So I want you to be cool down enough. 5 seconds. 3, 2, and 1, and finish there. Okay, check out your legs. Let's bring the heart rate down just enough. And let's make sure you're cool down enough. Catch your breath, and then come down to the floor. And I'm going to get you to do, let's do a high plank and then a low plank. I think that's a good core movement first. If you if you can't do the high plank, then you're staying on your forearms for the whole thing, okay? So bring the heart rate down enough. You're gonna come into a high plank. Ready? And go. Hold. And when you do the high plank, you need to be careful that you don't roll your shoulders forward. Actually, any plank. So we lock it in, pull the belly in. If you are comfortable, on your hands, and we'll continue on the forearms or stay where you are. 3, 2, 1, come down and hold here. Knees or toes. Make sure this is an abdominal exercise. So if you're feeling pain in your back or your shoulders, a couple of things, flatten your back, lengthen your body, look past your hands. Let's keep moving. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. And gentle child's pose or the tabletop. Reset yourself. And then up onto your feet. So far, so good. Those Walks and work can flow well, I think. Up onto your feet, grab some water if you need, and we will move on to the second. So supersets with the strength and the conditioning or movement, right? Doesn't have to feel like conditioning. Ideally, your heart rate elevates, but not always the case. All right, now in this one, it's nice and static again. We're gonna do palms up. We're gonna do our bent over row. Just make sure you're stable. You don't wanna feel strain in your back. So let's chest lifted, core tight, hinge from the hips, and let's do our bent over row here. So a nice upper body movement, and you're getting a little bit of help from your biceps in this grip. So I want you to still feel the squeeze between the shoulder blades. Let's remember that. A couple of things too. When you rolled forward, let's have a nice neutral neck and feel that squeeze. All right, so core is tight if you need to. You may be doing, anytime we do this movement, maybe do a couple and then stand. Keep going. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And big shoulder roll. Alternating back lunge, you can hold the weights by your sides. Here is another option. So if you're doing the alternating back lunge, okay, if you want, you could hold a weight up like a surrender lunge, but we're not actually coming down to the floor, but this is going to be a little bit more core work with your hands above your head. Okay, so let's go ahead and do those. If you prefer to do squat skin or short stride lunges, hands by your sides, or up like this. Engaged. Now, if that's too much for you, just bring the weight close. Good alignment. Just a couple more. One more each leg. Nice. Okay, go ahead and put your weights down. This is an option here. Again, we're going to keep things dynamic. This can be a little hop side and side. So this is a modified mogul skier, or you can do feet together. And see how I'm landing nice and soft? This would be the most impact if you feel like you can't. So I'll let you choose those options. Ready? So lower, less impact, more movement training, more strength, legs, and the most impact. So whatever you need. And we're almost there. 5 seconds. And back to the bent over row. 3, 2, 1, done. And release. So I did all 3 of those options. So maybe that works best for you. Shake out your legs, shake out your arms. And we are back. Catch your breath. Let's go back to the bent over row. All right, hopefully everybody's feeling pretty good. Remember, this is your workout, so I give you many, many options, and it's really important that you choose the option that feels the best for you. If you're looking for a little more or need a little less. So feeling that squeeze between the shoulder blades, okay, really important. Keeping that neutral neck. Hold. And keep going. Quick 10 more seconds here. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand up nice and tall. Alternating back lunge. Now, here's another variation of this one. Remember, you can hold the weights by your sides. You can hold the weight up, or we can also do a little halo as we do the alternating back lunge. So if you are doing the halo, I want you to bring that weight around your head the same way as your front leg. So it constantly alternates like your leg. Okay? So if you want to do the surrender, you want to hold the weight by your side. If you like this halo, it's nice, nice variety. So I get nice and close around my head. Excellent shoulder mobility with that one. And some core work as I resisting that rotation. It's really important that you keep your hips, your knees facing the front. Okay. And I'm going to give you one more each side. As you do this or any other option, last one. Be a little bit tricky sometimes, eh? And good. I'll put that down. Okay, feeling pretty good. Okay, let's go 30 seconds again of movement, strength, impact. Ready? Let's go. Now. Whatever you like, remember. Okay, soft knees. Absorb the impact. So keep going. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Okay, excellent. Keep your feet moving, and sometimes that lateral movement can be a bit much on the knees, so it's really important that you take the time. Grab a sip of water if you like. We're going to take it to the floor for a core exercise, and since we involved a little bit of lateral movement, sort of, in that mogul ski, we're going to do side plank, and we're going to try those leg lifts. So not everybody is going to feel comfortable with that, I understand. So if you want to do leg lift alone without the side plank, that's going to be less effort, strain on the shoulder, and maybe you have to do the side plank without the leg lift. Okay, so I'm going to go show you. I'm in a side plank. I'm going to keep my bottom down. I'm going to do my leg lifts. I want to make sure that I'm not pointing up. I want my hip to come forward. Okay, let's try 15. Decide if you already started. A little bonus for you, but let's go. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and release. Okay, so a couple of things. If it's all shoulder work, you might want to just visualize your core lifting you up more, and also that side glute. Okay, can't avoid that bottom glute from working as well. So set yourself up. 15. Let's go. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Don't be surprised. That probably feels harder on that side for a couple of reasons. Let's take your time doing that. Could be that you did your strong side first. Could be that the second side, that bottom glute already gets some more effort. So I would expect that it would feel harder that side. Another sip of water if you need it. Stand up on your feet. Take your time if you need. Excellent. Good work so far. All right, now up onto your feet, we are focused on our upper body and lower body again. This is going to be standing. Let's do some bicep curls on this one. And then, so that's for the upper body. The lower body, we're going to do the crouch and the tip, and then the crouch and the tip all on the same side. Okay, so bicep curls first. Let's go both together, up and down. Let's just focus on regular range of motion. If you have a heavier weight, maybe you're alternating arms, so that's an option. Hammer bicep curl could be another option if you find that regular bicep curls bother your wrists or even your elbows, so it doesn't really matter too much to me. All your variations of bicep curls, strong wrists, and just a tight enough grip so you don't lose the weights, but let's focus on the biceps, not too much on the forearms. Squeeze. Forward. 3, 2, 1, and release. All right, big shoulder roll. So what I'm going to get you to do on this one, so it's going to be 6 of each on one leg, and then again on the other side. So one crouch, so this would be 1, and then do 6 of them. Okay, so let's get started. 1 crouch, 1 tip. Remember, my pace might be different than yours, so go ahead and count. 6, and this is on 3 already for me. Just like the tip. That's always fun to do. Am I right? This is fun. 1 more. Remember, if you need to do squats instead, that's completely fine. Okay, now I want you to switch your legs. So hopefully you feel that down the back of the leg. Maybe calf and a bit of ankle stability. But a whole lot of work around the hip. More efficient. Strengthen the muscles around the hip. That should take some pressure off their feet. Two more here. And so one more time. Okay. Go ahead and put your weights down, and I'm going to get you to do that side step and then the straight jump. So if you, this one is movement training, or side, calf raise, side, calf raise. Let's quick 30 seconds. Let's get going. Don't have to jump. Calf raise, low, lift, low, lift. My hands reaching, and almost there. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Okay, shake out your arms, shake out your legs. We are doing bicep curls again. So you can always have a sip of water if you like. Need that little extra bicep curls. And let's go. You can do both together again, maybe one and the other. Okay. Good. Solid bicep curls. Focusing on the biceps, so we don't want to be swinging. Elbows stay close to your sides. 4, 3, 2. Okay, now we're going to change things up a little bit if you can. Remember, you can always do squats, you can always do the crouch and the tip. Otherwise, can you do one cross behind? This is a little, can be a bit, you know, if you have any issues with your knee, maybe not doing that. And then 2. So we're going to do 6 and 6. Okay, so 1 cross behind. Call this 1. 2. When you do this, take your time. The knee should not twist. It's about pushing the hip out. That's 4. Let's do 2. Watch the knee, feel good. And 1 more. And then switch. Oops, let's stay focused there. Okay, now switch sides. So pressing behind or the crouch, right? So if you don't like that movement, all right, take your time. Here we go, let's concentrate. One more. Okay, I'm struggling. Okay, 6. Okay, excellent. Put your weights down. Okay, side step, calf raise, side step, straight jump. 30 seconds. And then another core exercise. Let's go. Calf raise. Low. Or jump. Time. Let's move to that. Numbers can be movement training, can be a little more intensity if you like. Go down. Small. 3, 2, and 1, and done. All right, looks good. All right, now just keep your feet moving, and we're going to take it down to the floor for this next core work. So I think let's take down a tiny bit. Okay, so you're onto your back on this one, and if you want to bring a weight, go ahead. We're going to do the dead bugs or leg drops. Now we'll throw the weight. Now, our last strength, I'm saying this out loud so I can remember to do it. We'll be doing the hip bridge or glute bridge with the overhead tricep. Again, like we did on Monday, if you were here. So make sure that I save some time for that one. Can you do more? Make sure that is flat. I'm going to go one more each leg. It's one. Now, you can take your time, slowly come up onto your feet. And I think we're doing okay for time, so you've got lots of time still. Take it up onto your feet. Go ahead and grab some water. We've got some more legs and some upper body. So grab some water here. Take your time if you know that you need a little extra time getting up. Now, I want you to focus on legs and upper body again. So fairly lightweight. We're going to do one front raise, one side raise for your shoulders. So this is where I could probably go ahead with my lighter weight, so front and side. So that's this upper body movement here. One front, one side. And then for the legs, we'll do some deadlifts. So this is a whole other block of one front and one side. So not too high. You'll notice I'm just going about shoulder height. I don't want to go beyond my shoulders. I don't want to be, arching my back. I want to make sure I'm really still. Let's go ahead. Two of these. There's one and one more. Okay, excellent. So we did the single leg deadlift. This time you're just going to do your both feet planted. And we're going to do our deadlift here. So I want you to be mindful of where you feel this. So keep your chest lifted, slight bend in the knees, stick your butt back. I want you to feel that lengthening the back of the legs. Okay, if you feel discomfort in your low back, a couple things could be happening. You could be using your back, maybe you're rolling forward. Okay, that is not movement. So safe, free back, and lengthening. Now, I know the weight is not that heavy. We're managing with our work at home, so it's easy to kind of, forget to engage your core with the lighter weight, but it's just as important. Just lifted, butt back, lengthening, and standing. Posterior chain, so that's the back of the body, right? We're even walking in to the shoulder blades. One here. Okay, and release. So let's see. I think for this one, I'm going to let you decide if you are comfortable. You can do jump jacks or any variation of your jump jack, or you could do burpees if you like. Anybody want to do a burpee? That could be a modified burpee as well. So I'm going to do, it's 30 seconds. So I might do half of jump jacks, half of the burpee. So join me if you like. Let's go. So for those of you who are comfortable doing jump jack or low jack, if anybody's doing a burpee, I'm going to do that at the 15-second mark. In 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so if you're comfortable, stay where you are. If you want, go ahead, change it up if you need. I can even modify those. You can use a chair, you can take it down. 3, 2, and 1, and release. Okay, so any variation of movement training, modified if you need. Okay, keep your feet moving. Back to front raise and side raise. Yeah, I haven't tested burpee in a while, and it wasn't feeling great the other day. So I think that was a really good amount of time for the burpee. We're back to the upper body. Now, I always like to give options when I do throw a burpee in there. I know some of you may like it. Some of you would be happy to do an alternative movement, front and side. Can you do 3 more of those? One more. Shoulder roll. So if when we did the deadlift, if it just felt natural, you wanted to add something to it, you can add an upright row. Remember, you want to be safe for your low back, Slight bend in the knee. Go ahead and add the upright row this time if you like. Lengthening. It just feels natural to want to finish off that exercise. Low. Good. Good. Hamstrings. Let's go 2 more here. The last one. And this is any variation of those jump jacks. Maybe it's a mountain climber, high knee run, speed run, or the burpee, whatever you like. 30 seconds. Let's go. Again, I'm going to do half and half. Low jack. Okay, keep going. And into the burpee now if you like, or the variation. Let's go. Even still, I can modify that burpee. Safe in your back. Make sure you're keeping your core tight. That's really important that you're not arching your back. And 3, 2, 1. Release. Keep your feet moving here. Okay, so we're in our final block of work, and we're going to combine a couple of things. So we're actually going to be on the floor for this remainder of the class. So for the conditioning, you could try mountain climber, you could do a plank jack or tapping, but I'll show you what that when we get there. Okay, so you're going to do either push-ups or chest press, and then we're going to combine the glute bridge with the skull crusher or that overhead tricep extension. We're going to either do plank taps or mountain climber and then repeat. So that should take us there. So chest press or push-ups. Let's come down to the floor. So if you feel good doing push-ups, take it. Ready for that? I'm going to do chest press, my first round. And then remember, the second movement is the on your back in a glute bridge with the overhead tricep. So keep your core tight. Let's go push. And whether you're doing push-ups or chest press, let's go. Let's feel that squeeze up the top. Really feel that squeeze. And push-ups or chest press. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Now I'm already on my back. I'm just going to get rid of one of my weights. I'm going to hold it up. I'm going to go into a glute bridge. So you can hold the weight a couple different ways here. We're going to go on the glute bridge. So hips are lifted, hinging from the elbows and pressing. Maybe you are able to do both weights and they're independent of each other. So stabilize. Okay, my arms are shaking. I don't know if you can see that, but when I'm holding 2 weights independent of each other, that is way more challenging. All right, keep going. 4, 3, 1 more. Release. That is definitely challenging if you have your weights. Be careful of how you put them down. Don't need to strain your shoulders. All right, this is either a plank jack, mountain climber, or you can do on your forearms also. So let me show you this. So this would be a plank jack. Out, in, mountain climber. I can do plank taps too, okay? And it's just for 30 seconds. Ready? Let's go. Hips level. Tap it. Mountain climb. Or forearm. Tap the feet. Okay, remember it's your workout. 10 seconds. 5 seconds. 2, 1, and release. Okay, now I went slow, then fast, and slow, all of the variations of that. Either push-ups or chest press. I'm going to do push-ups this time. I did chest press last, and that tricep will be the same. So push-ups or chest press. Ready? Let's go. Find your pace. And I'm not going to count them. I want you to find your own pace and see how that works for you. You can do some push-ups and lean back. Just some upper body strength here. Chest press or just push-ups. 4, 3, 2, and 1, and release. Okay, so in that overhead tricep extension again, and 1 or 2 hip bridge if you can. Sit this lower body, that lower body engage. Overhead, 1 or both. You're hinging from your elbows and isolating those triceps. If your arms are shaking, that is a good sign. I can say so. 5, 4, 3, 2, and last 1, and release. Okay, plank jacks, mountain climber, plank taps. And then we will be able to do the last little bit of core because we're almost there. So mountain climbers on your forearms, plank taps. And we'll be able to do some extra core at the end of this for sure. So let's go 30 seconds starting now. Climbers, taps, like jack. On forearms, taps, whatever you need in your body. And keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sit back. We'll have a little rest here for a second, and then we're going to do our final bit of core. And I want you to go onto your back on this one. I want you to try this, the bicycle crunch, 2 quick, 1 slow. Make sure your fingertips at your temples or around the elbows stay wide. So 2 quick, 1 slow looks like this. Quick, quick, slow. Quick, quick, slow. So try that. Ready? So oblique work, not pulling at the neck. If that bothers you, some plank or dead bugs, that could be a perfectly good option. 4, 3, 2, 1. And stay where you are. Feet lifted. Can you try these scissors? So as long as you feel okay through your low back, your feet are up, slight bend in the knee, and you're going to get crisscross here. So it's 1, 2, 3, and then maybe 4 if you can. Make sure your back is okay. 2, 3, and lift again. Make sure your back is flat. That doesn't feel good, but don't go as low. Core tight. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Heels down. Glute bridge just up and hold. Lift. Hold there. Take it down. We're going to go to some low back. So onto your front. And for this work, I want you to start small. Anytime we do low back extension, it's important that you start small. And then if you feel all right, then you can extend your arms, make things a bit bigger. You can still see me. I'm going to just keep my hands nice and close. I'm just going to lift up my chest. And down. Okay. That's a very good beginning. Even more of a cobra stretch, getting some, your hands stay down. If you can, you're extending your arms, thumbs up, everything lifts. Your hands are like in that V position. Neutral neck. That's important. You're still looking down at the floor. Two more here. Lips, last one. Stay here for a second. And I want you to slowly take it into child's pose. Take your time here. And back. One last movement is our pointers, and we'll alternate our legs. So from that tabletop, you're extending opposite arm, opposite leg. Make sure your hips are level. Come back to the center. And extend. A good way to get a feeling that your hips are level, if you have one of those light yoga blocks, and if you have one of those at home, maybe it's a book, something that if your hips become uneven, that whatever it is will slide off your back and it won't break. It's not too heavy, but just as a reminder. Okay, so when you do that, you want to keep everything even. One more each side. Let's lean back into child's pose. Finish off with a stretch now. And from this position, take one leg out to the side. This one, stretch in a little bit. And I want you to rock back and forth gently. This is a nice inner thigh or groin stretch. Okay, not forcing it, but just a nice gentle rock back and forth. And you should feel that in the inner thigh. Okay, now hold that stretch for a second. Again, not forcing it. While you're here, take this arm out. Let's look underneath. Shift your weight to the other leg as you open. Let's switch sides. Here, it's just gentle rock back and forth. You want to just feel a stretch in the inner thigh. Feels okay, hold the stretch for a little. Shift your weight to the other leg, open. To the center. Up onto your feet. And your forward fold here. So if you feel comfortable, you're reaching down, that doesn't strain the back, just a nice gentle roll forward. All the way up. Take your time. Reach your arms up overhead. Hands behind your ears. Let's open it up like this. Open through your chest. Shake your arms. A bit of rotation. And do a quadricep stretch. Here, find your balance. Here. Nice lifted chest. And before you switch legs, you're going to take this leg, put it behind the other one. Push the hip out to the side, and you feel that down the side of your hip. Let's reach up and over. So hopefully you feel that down the side. Come back to the center. Let's do the quadricep stretch this leg. And again, find your balance. And step behind. Push the hip out. Reach up and over. Excellent work. Back to the center. That last bit of rotation. Big shoulder roll. Arms out, thumbs down. Pull them behind you. Nice bicep stretch. Release. Shake it out. Anything else that you might need to release? I'm going to stop the recording now because I did record today's class. So let's do that first. And stop.